A white sticker. A three-digit number. A hand pressing it onto the front of a shirt in a fluorescent-lit hallway. They will not call you by your name here. You are entering the system that built every K-pop act you know, every sold-out stadium, every song you have played more than 100 times, the same system that began recording your costs before you ever stood on a stage. This is your life at every level of the K-pop industry. Level 1. The fan. You know the song before you know anything else about it. The choreography comes next. You've watched the performance enough times to know which member holds the center and which one stays in the back left corner through the second verse. You learned all of this from a 40-second clip on your phone at 2 in the morning. The album comes in 4 versions. Not because the music is different, because the photocard is. Each version has a different member on the cover, a different set of inclusions, a photo book, a poster, a folded lyric card. To complete the set, you need all 4. You already know this. The system taught you to know it before you ever thought to question it. The light stick costs $38. It is shaped specifically for this group, unmistakable among a crowd of 20,000, and it glows in their designated color. At a concert, those 20,000 light sticks move in the same direction at the same moment. That image is genuinely beautiful. That is not an accident. That is the product working exactly as it was designed. Streaming numbers matter. First week figures determine chart position, and chart position determines whether the group receives another album cycle. You stream on the day of release, sometimes across multiple accounts. You are a variable in a spreadsheet you will never see. You do not feel like a variable. You feel like a fan. The concert ticket is $280 for the floor. You bought floor. You've been saving since the last tour ended. The concert is in 6 months. You've already bought the ticket. You don't know yet what it cost the person on that stage to get there. Level 2. The auditionee. You are 15 or 12. You found the form online. The audition is held in a hotel conference room on a Saturday morning. Rows of folding chairs, fluorescent light, a panel behind a table at the far end. You have been practicing the same 48 bars of choreography for 6 months, the same 8 counts, over and over, in the living room while your parents pretended not to watch. They paid for the private vocal coach last year. They have not said out loud what this has cost. You have not asked. Industry observers have described selection odds in the K-pop trainee system reaching several hundred applicants for every position accepted. The figure varies by agency, by year, by how many groups they intend to debut. What does not vary? The majority of the people in this hallway will leave with nothing, and will owe nothing, and will return to school on Monday. For now, that outcome belongs to someone else. Your name is called. You walk in. You perform. The panel watches without expression. They write something down. They do not tell you what they wrote. You bow and leave the room. That is the first thing you will learn here, though you don't know it yet. Some trainees enter the system differently. A scout sends a direct message to their social media account. They are in a shopping district, or posting a video that reaches the right person. Being found this way feels different from applying. It feels as though you were already exactly right before any of it began. That feeling is not accidental. The system knows how to produce it. Others are ahead of you in the hallway. Others are behind. None of you know yet what the word chosen will cost. Level 3. The trainee. They give you a number, not a name, a number. It is printed on a small white sticker, and the sticker goes on the front of your shirt. According to a 2020 BBC interview, a former K-pop trainee described instructors referring to every person in the program only by those numbers read from stickers fixed to their shirts. It felt weird, she said. A bit like we were in some sort of science experiment. You are now part of the experiment. The dorm is assigned by rank. Top performers sleep 4 to a room, narrow beds, a shared bathroom, a window that faces the building next door. Others sleep on mats laid out in the open space at the end of the hall. That arrangement is not explained to you. It doesn't need to be. You can see exactly where you stand from the moment you walk in. The day begins before 6. Gym first 2 hours, mandatory. Then vocals, then dance, then language training, English, Japanese, Chinese, whichever markets the agency is currently targeting. Then back to dance. Then media training, how to sit, how to answer a question without answering it, How to smile at precisely the right moment for precisely the right duration. The schedule runs until close to midnight. This is not an unusual week. This is every week. Once a month, you perform for a panel. Executives sit behind a long table at the far end of the practice room. They watch. They write things in notebooks you will never read. They do not applaud when you finish. They do not explain what they wrote. When it is over, they say, "Next month." That is all. You bow, you leave the room, and you begin preparing for the following evaluation, and the one after that for as long as you remain here, which could be 6 months, which could be 7 years. According to a 2012 Wall Street Journal report, SM Entertainment spent approximately $3 million training a single idol before debut. That figure does not cover promotion, production, or marketing. It covers only the training, the housing, the food, the coaches, the language classes, the gym sessions. Every item is recorded in an account. The account is assigned a number. Your number. You have been here for 2 years. You don't know how much you owe. The number exists. You just haven't seen it yet. You will find out when you debut. If you debut. Level 4. The survival show contestant. The cameras arrive. This changes what you are. Before the cameras, you were competing against 40 trainees in the same building, a private competition with private results, visible only to the people behind the monthly panel. After the cameras, the competition is broadcast to 17 million viewers who do not know your name yet but will decide whether you deserve to have one. The format is precise. Trainees from multiple agencies are placed into a single production. They practice together, eat together, share rehearsal space, then they perform in front of cameras and the public votes. Rankings update after every performance displayed on screen, recalculated in real time. That number used to be on a sticker on your shirt. Now it is projected behind you in a font 2 meters tall. You have trained alongside some of these people for years. You know which one cries after a bad evaluation. You know which one will outscore you in the dance ranking. The camera knows you know this. The edit will find that knowledge in your face and build a story around it. According to accounts from former trainees, agencies continue to charge standard training costs during the production period. You are not paid to appear on a program watched by tens of millions of people. That distinction between appearing and being paid to appear is not something anyone explains to you beforehand. Your persona is being constructed in real time. A character, an arc, a type the audience can hold on to. Catherine Lee, a former K-pop trainee who appeared on one such program, described her experience in a documented account. "Part of my contract," she said, "was that the company could market you however they wanted. I literally took a nap and woke up with bleached hair. I did not ask for this. If you are eliminated, the version of you built during production remains the property of the agency. The character outlasts the person. You made the final list. You sign the debut contract. You do not read all 42 pages. Level 5. The debut member. The stage lights find you. The crowd is screaming, not your real name, your stage name, and for approximately 90 seconds, you understand why you signed anything they put in front of you. The group's name is on every banner in the venue. You can see it from the stage. Someone in the front row is holding a sign with your face on it. And that person has been standing outside since 6 o'clock this morning. You will not meet them. You will wave in their general direction, and they will remember it for years, and that is the transaction. The promotions begin the morning after the debut stage. Music show pre-recordings at 5 in the morning. Fan signing events running 4 hours without a break. Variety show appearances, radio interviews, brand meetings, choreography rehearsals for the next release, which is already in production. In the first active promotion cycle, 16-hour days are not unusual. They are the schedule. There are no guaranteed rest days. That is not written in the contract because it does not need to be. The money question arrives differently than you expected. According to public statements by former K-pop idols and documented industry accounts, the standard arrangement for a rookie group directs approximately 70% of earnings to the management company. 30% goes to the group divided equally among all members until the full debt is repaid. That repayment takes time. More time than anyone mentioned before you signed. One girl group completed 3 full years of active promotion before any individual member received personal income, charted releases, sold-out fan events, international schedules across 4 countries. The training debt came first. The production costs came first. The promotion budget came first. All of it came first. Daisy, a former member of a K-pop group, stated publicly that her trainee debt had reached approximately $105,000. During 2 years as an active idol, she was paid once, not once per month. Once in 2 years. In 2009, the members of TVXQ, at that time among the largest K-pop acts in the world, filed a lawsuit against their management. Court documents revealed they had been receiving approximately 2% of album sales. 2%. That number on your shirt used to tell the instructors what to call you. This number, the one accumulating in an account you have not seen, tells you what you owe and how long you will owe it. You are famous now. You are in debt now. These two things are not opposites. They are the same sentence. Level 6. The promoting idol. By the second year, you stop counting the hours. It isn't a decision. It's a threshold you cross without noticing somewhere between the third promotion cycle and the fourth. The moment the weekly schedule stops being something you read and becomes something you simply move through. The schedule arrives every Sunday evening. 16 items, sometimes 20. You prepare for all of them. You do not ask why Wednesday ends at 2 in the morning or why there is a photo shoot scheduled for the morning after a 12-hour recording session. You prepare. The dating question resolves itself before it becomes a question. Training included months of guidance on image maintenance, what the brand requires, what it cannot absorb. Dating is framed not as prohibited but as a risk, to the group, to the investment, to the years of work that produced you. Sociologist Patrick Williams of Nanyang Technological University, speaking to the BBC, described the underlying logic. Agencies want to sell idols who appear, in his words, romantically obtainable to fans. A confirmed relationship changes that sale. That understanding does not require a formal clause. It requires only that everyone in the building knows the cost of it. Researchers studying the Korean entertainment industry have identified 4 categories of action available to agencies when an idol generates friction. A release can be delayed. A member's lines or screen time can be reduced. A member can be removed from the group entirely, or they can be withdrawn from advertising and acting contracts. None of these require public explanation. They require only a decision, and that knowledge shapes behavior long before any decision is made. The Hollywood Reporter has described conditions in the K-pop industry in which artists rehearse and perform without adequate sleep. Former trainees across multiple agencies have reported weekly weight assessments during active promotion periods. If the number is wrong, the schedule changes. The number is always being checked. You don't ask what you're worth anymore. You ask when the next schedule is. Level 7. The main visual. They put you in the center. Every camera finds you first in the music video, in the press line, in the live stage broadcast where the director cuts to your face during the second chorus, not because of the note you hold but because of how the shot looks. When a journalist describes the group in 3 words and a deadline, your name is one of those words. You did not choose that. It was chosen for you in a meeting you were not in before the first album was announced. The ranking within a K-pop group is not officially published, but it is understood. Main vocalist, main dancer, visual, center. These are assigned positions, not elected ones decided before the debut stage, formalized in a production document you have never read. That position carries a number, not printed on a sticker this time, but implied in every camera angle, every promotional cutout, every magazine cover that places your face in front of the others. The number is the ranking. The ranking is the cage. Sasang fans, the term used for followers who pursue idols beyond ordinary fan behavior, track flight manifests. They book adjacent seats on the same aircraft. They maintain rotations outside dormitory buildings through the night and across weekends. They obtain contact information through channels no agency has been able to close, and they use it at hours when you are supposed to be sleeping. The intensity of this attention scales directly with visibility, which means it scales directly with you. The more the center appears on screen, the more concentrated the pursuit becomes. That is not a coincidence. It is a ratio. The K-pop industry's mental health challenges are documented by researchers who study the system and by artists who have spoken after leaving it. These are not described by informed observers as isolated incidents. They are a pattern produced by the same conditions that produce the visibility. The requirements that place you on every screen are the same requirements that make privacy structurally impossible. You cannot leave the building without a manager. You have not had an ordinary conversation unscheduled, unrecorded in 3 years. You are seen by millions every week. None of them know you. You are beginning to wonder if you do. Level 8, the soloist. You are no longer part of a group. Your name, not a number, not a group name preceding it on every schedule, and every credit line is on the poster. You know exactly how small it felt to have a sticker on your shirt with a 3-digit code where your name should have been. This is different. For a while, it feels like the difference matters. The album concept is more yours than anything you have been part of before. You have creative meetings where your input is solicited and, sometimes, incorporated. The choreography reflects something you asked for. The liner notes carry your real name in the credits, not the group name, not a position title, your name. The contract, however, did not change when your status did. The agency still approves the final song selection, the release window, the international bookings, the brand partnerships, the artwork. The term continues. The rights to recordings made during the term belong to the company. What changed is the presentation, the name on the poster, the number of people in the dance formation. What did not change is the architecture beneath it. In a group, criticism is distributed. A scandal implicates everyone, absorbed collectively, managed collectively, survived collectively. That distribution was a structural protection you did not appreciate until it was gone. Alone, the surface area is entirely yours. Elaine Chong, a former K-pop hopeful who spoke to the BBC, described those who leave the system without a parallel life built alongside it. Trainees cut at 21 with no qualifications, no credentials, no ordinary markers of a life developed independently of the industry. The system does not design an exit. The exit is what you find when the contract ends. You are not there yet. The contract has a number at the top. You know what numbers mean here. You have more freedom now. You also have more to lose alone. Level 9, the legend. You have been in this industry for 12 years. You remember the sticker. You remember the number they called you by when you were 17. Standing in a practice room after midnight, waiting for an evaluation result. You remember the panel's faces, the particular quality of their attention, which was professional and impersonal in the same way a factory inspection is professional and impersonal. You remember what it cost to still be here. That is not something you say in interviews. Your name now appears in publications that do not ordinarily cover music. In 2021, analysts estimated that one group's contribution to the South Korean economy exceeded $4 billion in a single year. Album sales, touring revenue, merchandise, tourism, and everything that moves when culture reaches that kind of scale. You may be part of that group. The numbers are not yours to confirm or deny. The system prefers it that way. Contract renewal looked different the second time. You had lawyers of your own. When a major K-pop group renegotiated their agreements with their agency in 2022, the company's stock price rose on the day the announcement was made, not on the day they recorded the album, not on the day they sold out the stadium, but on the day they agreed to stay. That is what the announcement meant to a public company. An asset had renewed its terms. There is a junior group on your label. They bow when they pass you in the hallway. In September 2024, testimony submitted to the Korean National Assembly by a current idol described senior figures within companies ignoring junior artists entirely. A hierarchy of silence operating inside the hierarchy of visibility. You know the shape of this. You have been on both sides of it. You do not speak about the sticker publicly. You do not speak about the debt, or the panels, or the number. You speak about gratitude, about the journey, about the fans. That is also something the system taught you. You are the proof that the system works. You don't ask who paid for that proof. Level 10. The founder CEO. There is no stage here, no spotlight, no choreography, no name announced over a speaker to a crowd that has been queuing since 6 in the morning. There is a conference room on an upper floor in the Gangnam district of Seoul, a long table, a whiteboard, a projected slide with quarterly figures on one axis and a group name on the other. A question is being discussed around the table. Which group debuts next quarter? The answer is being decided before the people who will become that group have been selected. Lee Soo-man, the founder of SM Entertainment, described his approach in documented public statements as one of cultural technology, a system designed, in his words, to codify the entire process of producing culture into a formula and to manualize it, not to discover artists. To produce them. To reduce the distance between input and output to something repeatable, scalable, and legible on a balance sheet. That distinction between discovery and production is the entire industry. Everything else is the product. You understand this because you built a version of it. Your company was listed on the Korea Stock Exchange. The initial public offering placed the valuation above $4 billion, one of the largest listings in South Korean history. You were photographed at the opening bell. In the building behind the cameras, on a floor you had not visited in months, trainees were completing their morning evaluations. They were not photographed. That morning, they were costs, not assets. The balance sheet requires that distinction to be maintained. When a major group signed to your company announced a pause in activities for mandatory military service in 2022, the company's stock price fell 25% in a single trading session. Not because of a product recall. Not because of a failed quarter. Because the people whose contracts you hold made a personal decision about a legal obligation. Your net worth moved when they moved. When they are unavailable, you are worth less. The asset and the person stopped being the same thing some time ago, if they ever were. You assign the numbers now. New stickers are printed at the start of every intake cycle. The trainees do not know their numbers yet. You do not think about that. You think about next quarter. Somewhere in Seoul right now, a 14-year-old is watching a music video on her phone, memorizing every move. She doesn't know about the debt. She doesn't know about the sticker with the number. She doesn't know that the group she loves was built by someone who described what he does as codifying culture into a formula. She knows the song. She knows the faces. She is saving up for the album. Somewhere else in Seoul, the man who owns those faces is in a meeting about the next group. Neither of them will ever be in the same room. The girl does not know her number yet. The man is already deciding it. The cycle continues.